Today, we're going to go over all the cards that you want banned. And I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. I'm going to tell you why, no, we're not going to ban those cards. And the first card we're going to start off with, brought to us by Steve Cooper, is Island. Basic Island. And, you know, you're asking the right person here because I could probably write a very deep essay on the basic island. You know, people hate counter spells, they hate counter magic, they hate control, but they don't realize that that prolongs the game. The game goes longer. You know, what would you hate more? A game that ends in like 2 turns or a game that ends in 10 turns? By the way, the game that goes on for 10 turns, you might be the one winning it. But if the game ends in 2 turns, you don't know. You need somebody out there controlling the game. If there was no basic island in this game, I swear to God, it would just be mono red all over the place. Show me a format with no control deck, and I will show you a format that is completely overrun by stupid aggro decks and combo decks. Basic island is very important to this game. That's why it cannot be banned. Next, we've got Corbinek says, I've made my case multiple times that the saltiest card in MTG is Gaia's Blessing. I don't like cards that completely lock out mechanics without even casting them. Mill doesn't need the hate. Consider. All right, so 2 mana, sorcery. Target player shuffles up to 3 target cards from their graveyard into their library. You get to draw a card. When Gaia's Blessing, however, is put into your graveyard from your library, shuffle your graveyard into your library. Well, I have a question for you. I mean, what between Gaia's Blessing, like, there's Gaia's Blessing, there's the Eldrazi Titans. I mean, even though Emrakul is not legal in Commander, you can play the other Eldrazi Titans. There are more cards that are going to shuffle your graveyard into your deck, making your life that much harder. But here's the deal, like, this doesn't single-handedly shut you down. It's you just have, just like a Reanimator player has to defeat Grafdigger's Cage, you need to use your blue cards from your mill deck to beat Gaia's Blessing. You know your opponent has Gaia's Blessing, well, why don't you use what's it called? When it hits you, I mean, if it hits the graveyard, use a stifle effect. Use more mill that exiles the opponent's deck, like Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Not to mention, there are some cards that you can name out and strip it from the deck if you know that they are in that deck. So I think there's a lot of room to play around Gaia's Blessing, even though the answers are quite narrow. But I would also say that if you're playing Gaia's Blessing in a 60-card commander deck, you have a lot of room. You can play a lot of stifle effects or like whatever you need to do to strip the Gaia's Blessing out of somebody's deck. I'll admit that it's a lot harder in Commander, but in Commander, your job is just plain harder. You should be just going after an engine, period, in order to win the game. So basically, combo off through mill or don't combo off, or you don't have a chance at all. Jacob, welcome. Okay, next up, we've got Gillum with Gaia's Cradle. Can't believe I was like bullying the mill player just now. Gaia's Cradle, legendary land. Tap, add a green to your mana pool for each creature you control. I swear to God, most people just want this banned just because it's super expensive. So if they're not gonna buy it and they don't want to proxy it, they just don't want to even play against it in the first place. But, you know, put the wallet aside. Let's take a look at power level. Power level is pretty good. Power level is not bad. But remember, if you wipe the board, there's nothing in play. And that's exactly how Gaia's Cradle plays out. It's great when the getting is good, but it's terrible when the getting is bad. When the getting is bad, you've got, like, worse than a Wastes on the battlefield. Worse than, I don't know, I can't think of a land that doesn't even tap for mana. Because it doesn't tap for mana. It can sometimes create really greedy hands in the hands of creature-based decks. If they have a hand with, say, 1 basic land, Gaia's Cradle, and you wipe out all their creatures, I mean, they're very, very slow to make a comeback in that game. Gaia's Cradle is A-OK by me, even though I never play with that card. Bryce, Arcane Signet. Why are we hating on Arcane Signet here? Something that's got some... Okay, I can't stand some of these stupid arts. I can't stand this one either. You can ban the bad arts. To be honest, I don't even... Okay, this is a cool looking art. I can get behind this. 2-mana artifact, tap, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. It doesn't have any other abilities. I mean, I'd rather play Mind Stone. I'd rather play any card that says tap for mana, also do something else. This is not one of those cards that does anything else. It's like the most mediocre of all mana rocks. This is definitely... in my opinion, it's not even an auto-include. I would not play this in my mono blue deck. Not even an auto-include, in my opinion. Phil Goad, Thassa's Oracle, no more 2-turn commander. It's a card you really want to ban, Phil Goad. You really want to chop the legs off the merfolk players that want to play with Thassa's Oracle, or the wizard decks that like to play with Thassa's Oracle. They've got other this creature has other abilities. It's like a scrying machine. It just so happens if you have no cards in your deck, you actually win the game. But if you're not going to win the game, I mean, you get value. I think the cards you really want to go after is not Thassa's Oracle. You got to go after the cards that enable the Thassa's Oracle victories. Why do we need, what's it called? Demonic Consultation. Why do we need this card? This card is just like a tutor or something. I would say before we look at banning Thassa's Oracle, which is a completely innocent merfolk, it's a cute merfolk on top of that. Go look at the other cards that actually enable all sorts of combo decks. They're the real problem around here. Next, we got Soul of Samhain. Ban all 1-mana life gain creatures on arena, please. Soul Sisters. Oh, sorry, it's not Soul Sisters. What is it? Soul Warden, which is one of them. There's a million of these creatures. A white 1/1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. This is like the most disruptible strategy in the world. I mean, gaining 1 billion life means nothing to the control decks, means nothing to the combo decks. Doesn't even mean anything to the mid-range decks. Because they'll just put some gigantic chunky creatures and start slowly swinging for tons of damage. The only thing this really shafts are aggro decks. You want to be, or a burn deck. Burn decks hate this card too. This only will be great in. There are some other like white aggro decks where this is good, and there are some combo decks that might go off with this thing. But outside of that, you know, I don't play Bowmasters or something. It's a 1 toughness creature. 1 toughness creatures aren't even supposed to be legal in 2026. Not even supposed to be legal. Kolingi. Good night, Fish Fam. Okay, Fish Fam. Thanks so much, Kolingi. Thanks for the super chat. We'll donate that super chat to Kevin Lopez. Magic Hex. Long time no see. Kolingi. It's been a long time no see. Okay, Hex Magic. A 3-mana sorcery. Isn't this new? Exile cards from your hand, then draw that many cards. Until the end of your next turn, you may play cards exiled this way. So remember, okay, when is this going to be good? If you play this on turn 3, you're basically saying, I'm going to get rid of my entire hand. I'm going to get a new hand, but you may not even be able to play all those cards, so that's a downside. Second off, if you wait long enough to play this card, you don't even have that many cards in your hand to toss away. So where's the win out of this card? I think there's a lot better cards that came out over Magic's history that are just better than Hex Magic in terms of like card advantage. You'd have to basically keep a stock loaded hand up until like turn 5. We can keep Hex Magic around. Next, who has no card yet? Kano with Soul Ring. So chaos ensues. What is this? A fan? Ooh, look at this Soul Ring. That is a sick Soul Ring. Where'd this come from? This is a secret lair drop. I like it. It's a 1-mana artifact. Tap for 2 colors. Why am I even explaining this card to everybody? Has anyone ever heard of Soul Ring around here? This is the glue that keeps casual players together. As much as casual players like the idea of like slow, easy, nice, friendly games, they also want to play their really expensive cards, and all the expensive cards are like 5, 6, 7 mana, and they're not going to do it by playing regular lands. So for the sake of casual players, you got to keep Soul Ring in the game. And for the sake of the degenerate competitive players who keep Soul Ring in the game, the only odd one out are competitive players that want to play like sane competitive Magic. They can't get that. It's impossible. At least not in Commander, that's for sure. If any of you want to play a game where there's no Soul Ring, you just play Legacy for the most part. Next we've got Bab with Mana Drain. Counter is already more than good enough. You would think that. And funny enough, Mana Drain sees no play in Legacy. Nothing. Do you know why? Because 2-mana counterspell is actually not good enough in that format. Well, okay, sorry. I gotta say, it sees no play in Legacy because it's actually banned in that format. But I want to say, like, actual counterspell barely sees play. So if you unbanned Mana Drain for Legacy, I'm not saying it's not going to see play. It probably will. It will not be to the extreme that you would think. What I want to say about Mana Drain is it's still a 2-mana clunker. And while you say counter target, like 2-mana counter target spell, that's okay. But in an incredibly volatile environment, such as Commander or even Vintage, you need to have a lot more upside if you're going to be spending more than 1 mana for your counter spell. Otherwise, it needs to be free. Like basically every counter spell is either 1 mana or free. Name me a bunch of 2-mana counter spells that actually see play. I think it's basically Mana Drain. I don't even know if like counter spells like a solid staple. And not to mention, there's like a lot of cards that if you would counter, there's still going to be like 0-mana cards are really, really cheap. I would say Mana Drain most powerful in the more casual you get to the more casual the format gets. Next, we got Tola Duck with Emeritus of Ideation. Does this card even see play? Yeah, I think, what was this, like $30 on pre-release, and now it's like $6 and falling. It's a 5-mana 5/5. Yeah, it's got flying in Ward 2. The creature enters prepared. When this creature attacks, you may exile 8 cards from your graveyard. If you do, this creature becomes prepared. And for a blue, once it's prepared, target player can draw 3 cards with Ancestral Recall. That's about it. So it's basically, what it translates to, 6 mana, 5/5 flyer, ETB, draw 3 cards. Sounds actually Magic the Gathering power level to me, at least by today's standards. Spell Stutter with Azula Fire Lord. Azula Fire Lord is a 4-mana 4/4 human noble. You don't like firebending, do you? Firebending at 2. When this creature attacks, add double red. This mana lasts until end of combat. You don't even get to keep it forever. When you cast a spell while Fire Lord Azula is attacking, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. This card's worthless. It doesn't even, you know what? I could understand your frustration if this card had haste. It doesn't even have haste. You have to wait an entire turn cycle in order to get an attack into it. Your opponent can interact with the card right before combat. It is such a niche, narrow card. If you pull this card off, you deserve to win the game. Your opponents are doing nothing. They've decided, you know what? We're just going to be playing solitaire Magic, and whoever can solitaire there first wins. So you better win first before the Fire Lord Azula beats you. You better do it faster or learn how to destroy a creature. Does not die to Doomblade, however. Do you know what? Does not die to Doomblade. You've got that point. Why do we want bad cards banned? Some people just hate certain cards. Mikey with ban the Triomes. You want our Rogrin Triome banned? Don't ban it because you need to buy it at FusionGamingOnline.com. Today's sponsor. Deal of the week this week. Save 20% off all playmats. But don't forget, there's a Fusion Open. You need those Triomes to be playing Modern, to be playing Commander. And also, you might want to get some of... what was that card that we just said was okay? Emeritus of Ideation. Okay, that card didn't come from Marvel Superheroes, but it's a sort of newish card. If you want to play with Ancestral Recall, buy it from FusionGamingOnline.com. It's cheaper than an actual Ancestral Recall. Get 5% off all your purchases using coupon code Nikachu at checkout because it supports the channel. Hopefully that's not the only reason. It also saves you some money. Coupon code Nikachu at checkout, FusionGamingOnline.com. Okay, Rogren Triome. The upside of this card, it fixes your mana super easily. I understand people's like... So that this is like the easiest way to have like all basic colors by turn 2. Turn 1, Rogren Triome. Turn 2, get, what are we missing here? We need Overgrown Tomb to get the black and the green. You now have full access to all colors. Mana is super free. But I got news for you. The mana is pretty damn free even without the Rogren Triome. Our mana was absolutely busted. Any combination of fetch lands can get you basically all your mana types by turn 2, turn 3. Like, what do you need all 5 mana by turn 2 anyway? What are you going to cast other than Sign of Draco? I think that's the only card that you actually want to do with them. They had to put cycling on them with types too. Yep, that's it. Cycling. It does not, by the way, does not come up very often. I've seen it happen. It's usually a huge sign of weakness. But yeah, it's basically it's blank. Almost never happens. We got a super chat from Cracker Grit. How about Ristic Study? If done, don't know. Ah, you're coming up with the hard questions here. One of the fairest cards of all of Magic the Gathering. In fact, it was worthless until they invented Commander. Okay, we have to see this is my baby. This is my gorgeous card. 3-mana enchantment. When an opponent casts a spell, you may draw a card unless that player pays 1. One of the key things that makes Ristic Study so powerful is no one's playing with enchantment removal. Nothing. Nada. Zip. There is a lot of it out there. But it's one of the least, it is the least appreciated types of removal that you would want to put in your deck. But let me tell you, you should. Why? Because this is one of the most common cards you have to face in every single Commander game. It's what also, what, Smothering, is it Smothering Tithe? No, hold on. Smothering, is it Smothering Tithe? Yeah, this is also an enchantment. We should be upping our enchantment removal by like 700, 800, 900% in our decks. You have to be prepared for Smothering Tithe. You have to be prepared for Ristic Study. The people who lose to this card, it's a deck building problem. It's like, oh, wow, I should have been prepared for Ristic Study. Yeah, you should have. There could be multiple people with Ristic Studies on the battlefield. It's a very easy card to get rid of, too. It's okay until Commander. It proves Commander are a mistake. Basically, just random fan format. I would, honestly, Hexnort, at this point, competitive Magic is like the random fan format. That's how I look at it. Mercenary says, Ristic Study can be countered easily if you got Chains of Mephistopheles to prevent them from getting those extra cards. Or a Bowmaster. Bowmaster's a problem in itself, I suppose. If anyone tries to suggest Bowmasters, I'll let you all know that it's keeping Ristic Study in check under some circumstances. Okay, next we got Olga with Steam Vents. We have a hate versus a very specific. I can't tell if it's exactly Steam Vents itself or just the Shocklands in general. Like Shocklands, they're pretty fair. Blowing 2 points of your life is like, life or death in a lot of decks. Which is why the Triomes are so damn good now, is because you don't even pay life, but at the cost that you can't cast anything with those Triomes on that turn. It's also like just, okay, we could live in a world where we need to play with Volcanic Island. We could live in that world where everyone has to dish out like thousands of dollars for their mana base, or we could live in a world where, you know what, it's like, instead of spending like, $1,000 on Volcanic Island, we can spend $12 on a Steam Vents. And that's like, okay. Steam Vents is just like one of those lands that helps make the game cheaper. Like, what are we gonna do? Live in basic land mode? I don't think so. Error. You gotta be more specific than that, and Island has already been taken. Olga says, to be honest, it's just because I'm annoyed at is it in standard. Oh, that's a little bit different. The key to fixing standard is just wait until it rotates into a new standard, and then everything is clean. They just have to rotate. Okay, next up we've got Z-Man Vader with Amphibian. Oh, Amphibian Downpour. No lie, I was looking at this card not too long ago to play it in a deck. Does anyone even play this card? 3 mana Aura Flash with Storm. Okay, it's a Storm card. Okay, don't get scared. Don't get scared just because it says Storm and Flash. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a blue frog creature with base power and toughness 1/1. So first off, it's not even removal. It's not even hard removal. Your creature is still there. It's just a 1/1 creature. Second off, you really have to play into this thing. You probably have to play the spells in order for me to play my get a big amphibian downpour. And then even if the downpour is done, you can negate this in a million different ways. You can destroy the enchantments. You can bounce your creatures back to your hand, where therefore the enchantment falls off. There's a lot of ways of basically reanimating your creatures, getting them back to life. This is a very weak card. It's a very, very, very weak card. It's like a 3 mana crap Doomblade. Anyway, I would keep the amphibian downpour around. Next up, we have Mercenary with Stormcrow. What is to say? It's one of the worst cards in the game. This is one of the worst cards ever. We're not gonna ban this card. It gets rid of commanders till it's gone. Then shoot your own. That's a great point, Cracker Grit. I love that you mentioned that. Shoot your commander. Put it down. Put your commander down. It's okay, because he's gonna go to heaven, and then he comes back. And by heaven, I mean the command zone. The guy has a respawn. Your commander is the only creature that gets to respawn. This has respawn. No other creature has respawn in this game. Stormy Cat, Rat the Skies. Rat the Skies is honestly the only way to bring balance to broken token strategies. White X, you get X energy, then you may pay any amount of X, destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with mana value less than or equal to the amount of energy paid this way. But it could be 0. So all the stupid 0 mana strategies, you better win very fast, or Rat the Sky is going to wrath your board. And I actually appreciate that this is a very easy way to combat Crushing Footfalls. I haven't played against this card for so long, I forgot what the name was. And that's because, well, Rat the Skies. Right? I mean, the deck was somewhat playable in Modern, and then just became, I mean, it got beaten down really hard when Modern Horizons 3 came out. Super, super beaten down. Just basically, borderline didn't even exist. Did not even exist. Next up, we got Billion Pig with Sire of Insanity. Sire of Insanity is a very weak card because at 6 mana, a 6/4 creature, at the beginning of each end step, each player discards their hand. At 6 mana, you have no hand. Just play off the top of your deck. And you know what? For everybody that hates counterspell players, this card wrecks them because they can't beat their top decks, all right? You should love Sire of Insanity. Bring balance. The whole idea of this game is cards balance out versus other cards. And some cards really suck. They can't be played proactively. Also, I would say the counterspell player did something wrong. Sire of Insanity resolved in the first place. Okay, next. Stormy Cat's like, as a Rhinos player, it needs to go. Oh, you're talking about the Rat the Skies. All right, that's why you want to hate that card. Look, I think as a Rhino player, you have access to blue. Counter this damn thing. Why is that such a big deal? I don't understand why this is actually such a big deal for the Rhinos play. Like, yeah, it's an extra piece of hate, but like, what were you doing versus engineered explosives anyway? So whatever you're gonna do versus engineered explosives, just do that to Wrath of the Sky. Why is that any different? Next up, we got a super chat with Phil Goat. Humility, ban anti-fun. Humility is a very interesting card, Phil Goad. 4 mana enchantment, all creatures lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 1/1. So great token strategy card. because whoever can just make a lot of token, like a lot. If anyone can go mass tokens, humility is awesome in that environment because they just out token your whatever 1/1 token army that you have. And the second, and the same thing like I said about Rhystic Study, the same thing that I said about Smothering Tithe. Where is your enchantment removal? Where is it? Oh, you're not running any mass enchantment removal because you're afraid of losing your own enchantments? You have two choices. You're going to interact with cards, or you're going to play the solitaire game. If you're going to play the solitaire game, you got to play it better than your opponents. And if you're not a combo deck that's trying to win on turn 3, you might not be playing the solitaire game right. Play with enchantment removal. You can there's creatures that have enchantment removal on them where they ETB and blow stuff up. Use those creatures if you have to. Some people find humility fun, apparently. Humility is fun when I'm not using creatures. Yeah, a mainstay for a lot of control decks as well. Next, let's get Rin Vivi. Vivi's a mistake, and the rebalance arguably makes him even worse. He's once more a problem, and they banned a common card to avoid hitting Vivi. Are you talking the rebound? Are you talking about this card is worse? This is 0 mana 0/3. Does this even play? Tap, add X mana in any combination of blue and or red, where X is Vivi Ornithor's power. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Vivi. It deals 1 damage to each opponent. Now the OG was just pay 0. Add X mana in any combination of blue and or red, where X is Vivi. Vivi's power, activate only during your turn and only once each turn. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Vivi, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Now, if we look, there's literally only one format that has this banned, and it's the format that doesn't have sufficient removal, which is standard. If you see Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, does Vivi even see play in any of these formats? Some people tried in Modern, it didn't really work. It's, I understand probably this is it's a much hotter card in Commander. Alchemy, Vivi plus Badgermal, Cub, Go, Burr. Yeah, I don't play Alchemy. I have to admit, I'm completely ignorant of what the hell is going on in Alchemy on MTG. Oh, does it see a lot of play? What's going on in Pioneer right now? Let's go to MTG Goldfish Pioneer. How big of a deck is it? Pioneers gets rocked back and forth. We got Mono Red Prowess. We got Golgari Midrange. We got Azorius Control. We have Izzet Prowess. Are we gonna fire Vivi here? No Vivi, unless that's not in this list. Izzet Phoenix probably doesn't have Vivi. Where does it see play? Where's our Vivi deck? Is it Prowess? What's the most common cards? Instance. I don't see Vivi here. I feel lied to. Okay, look. You know why we don't see Vivi? It dies to Doomblade, damn it. It just dies to Doomblade. So just play more Doomblades. I saw Vivi as a thumbnail. Vivi was on the bottom of the page. Okay, some soul, some poor soul. Oh, there we go. At the 0.3% of the meta, we have 3 decks. It got 24th place in a Pioneer Challenge that probably had like 28 players in attendance. Actually, and look at this. They counted the same deck twice. It's the same person for the same event. So you know what? I don't think it's very well represented, in my opinion. Very, very, very poorly represented in that format. It's just like this card is the type of card that scales as more turns go on, as more time goes on. So kill it. Just kill this stupid thing. Vivi's not that good in Legacy right now, which leaves us with a lot of space to do stuff with it to see if it can win there. But the thing is, a 3-mana card in Legacy is really brutal in a format with days. It's really brutal. Arguably just bad. Steve Cooper with the super chat. The One Ring. Funny enough, this card was way more broken if you asked me like a year ago. 4 mana, legendary artifact, indestructible. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until your next turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each burden counter on the 1 ring. Tap, put a burden counter on the 1 ring, then draw a card for each burden counter on the 1 ring. And as I just before I give you the explanation why this thing doesn't need to be banned, we do have to thank our sponsor today, Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. If you're frustrated with cards, if you're frustrated with a certain card you wish it was banned, just dump the format and play another one on Magic Online. You're not glued to any format. You can play anything when you have the power of renting cards with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using coupon code Nikachu_BK3 for 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription. Cormac says, fun fact, Haywire Might's price jumped the minute the 1 ring became the meta card. But how much? Like 50 cents? It wasn't very expensive in the first place. Toilet Duck, card rentals. You'll own nothing and be happy. Yes, actually. It's better to rent than to own in Magic in 2026. Only because, like, you don't know when one set will just make your deck worthless, which is just sad. Makes it so hard to be a paper Magic player today. Hexnord says, does the 1 ring see any play outside of Commander? Well, it's a little tough because it doesn't have a whole lot of formats to play. It's not legal in Pioneer. It's not legal in Standard, not legal in Alchemy or Historic or Brawl or Competitive Brawl or Pop or Penny. It's banned in Modern. So I'm assuming that we're asking this card to be banned in Legacy, which it does get a little bit stronger because the card itself, the downside is you're supposed to lose life, but you have 40 life to work with. So like, what do you care? You know what's better than renting? Proxying. This is little MX Doom. There is more cards that actually interact with the 1 ring. First off, this card was way more busted in 60 card Magic, where you could play multiple 1 rings. You tap it for a bunch of cards, like first 1, then 2, then 3, and then after that you play another 1 ring to basically reset the damage that you would take from the original 1 ring, and you could chain 1 ring into 1 ring into 1 ring. It's super common. Commander, you can't do that. You have one ring. You get to stick with it unless you can copy this thing, which is not particularly easy. This card can do you in, just like sometimes, what's it called, does you in. Mana Crypt. There are ways of like really screwing somebody. Let's say someone plays the 1 ring, activates it a few times, then play your Pithing Needle. Play your Pithing Needle, name the 1 ring. Now the 1 ring can't be activated anymore. And then you can let your opponent just take 3 to 4 damage every single turn from their stupid 1 ring. Make them deal with it. Make them suffer. And of course, there's like more than one. There's like the Pithing Needle, and the Phyrexian Revoker, and there's Null Rod, and there's Collector Oof, and now Red Exiles artifacts. I don't even think this is that bad. Look, we got Bowmasters. So that we now are punishing card draw like crazy with Bowmasters. The 1 ring actually is way more stable and more balanced in Commander than I think it was in all the 60 card formats. Disruptor Flute too. Disruptor Flute is better than Pithing Needle to us who wants to do stuff at instant speed. And I would let them draw a few cards. Yeah. Go on. Put some of those burden counters on that 1 ring by all means. I have also died to Mana Crypt. Don't play Mana Crypt unless you're playing a combo deck. Fiddy Fox, Doomblade. Just imagine if we can't use dies to Doomblade anymore. This is a new Doomblade. This is a Marvel superhero Doomblade. Instant, destroy target non-black creature. It's funny, even myself, who forgets like the clause that it's only destroys target non-black creature. Some people look at like a multicolored, Wooburg commander and it's like, it dies to Doomblade. No, it doesn't. No, it does not actually die to Doomblade. You're a fan of this art? This is a Marvel art. Most of the Marvel arts are pretty bad, I've seen. I'm not a huge fan. This one's okay. I can live with this one. Still not my favorite. Whoa, man. This art is amazing. But what's with the trolley text? What the hell was that for? Why did they do that? That was completely unnecessary. Oh, that's like the best art. That's the best Doomblade art. It's got trolley text on it. Talk about what is with this unset nonsense? They can ban this one because of the stupid text. Well, anyway, we're not gonna ban Doomblade because it's like one of the who even plays this card? You know, we always joke like dies to Doomblade. No one even plays that card. It's unplayable. So a lot other better cards out there. There was a trolley tech secret lair with good art, but Comic Sans. Ah, oh, how disappointing. Cynthia Shepard, they did your art dirty. You know what's even the worst thing? I would love to get an artist to alter the text on this card. I mean, I guess I can alter instant and get rid of all this crap over here, but I can't get rid of the Doomblade because for a altered card to be still legal, you have to be able to read the name, which is unfortunate. Please ban VV, Orniter, and Commander. It can do everything. Well, we already discussed that. It's totally fine. It's weak to removal, like everything else. Next we've got Little MX Doom. Maybe not a ban, but Trinisphere for the Game Changer list. Thank you so much for your super chat. Trinisphere, I think, is a great card to have just in general. 3-mana artifact. As long as Trinisphere is untapped, each spell that would cost less than 3 mana to cast costs 3 mana to cast. You know who this screws over? Combo decks. That's who this screws over. Don't you want to screw over the combo decks? Don't you want to screw over the people who are playing too fast, playing things for free? You know who this doesn't screw over? People who are playing slowly. They're just like playing 5 drop. Next turn, 6 drop. Next turn, 7 drop. They don't care about this card. They think this card is fine. I think it should be playable in lower power format. Hey, this is a show where you're supposed to argue for cards to be banned, not for cards to be more legal. What's considered the top tier black removal now? That's a good question. I mean, Fatal Push definitely... Fatal Push is like the competitive one because you need to have cheap removal with certainty. But there's a 2-mana removal spell that's like destroy target non-legendary creature. I think that is the de facto removal spell. It doesn't kill your commanders, of course, but it kills everything else. We did Thassa's Oracle already. Anyone with no card yet? Who has no card yet? Leon Corgi has no card. Outland Liberator. All day and night. Errata did not need to be tracked. Oh my god. The rules are the rules. I have to tell you why you can't. We're not going to ban it. Outland Liberator is a 2-mana 2/2 human werewolf for 1 mana. Sacrifice Outland Liberator. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Wow, you actually picked the worst card. This is one of the most this is one of the best utility creatures in the game. Like, we're talking about how we need more enchantment removal. We need more artifact removal. Well, this is it. So you don't have to be completely all in on enchantment and artifact removal as a card. You can have it in the form of a grizzly bear that can actually do even more because it transforms into the Frenzied Trapbreaker. Now, it still can sack to destroy artifacts and enchantments, but when it attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. So this is a fantastic card that we absolutely need in the game, despite the fact that it's it's a day-night card, despite the fact how annoying that is to keep track of, despite the fact that you have to keep teaching people how day and night works, or looking it up on Google to remind yourself how it works. This card is actually super important. Draconic says, I actually think Daybound, Nightbound is really flavorful, but I know it's a nightmare to track in paper. The problem is, it should have worked by Huntmaster of the Fells rules. The day-night thing is just so close to how Huntmaster of the Fells works, but it doesn't. It's not the same. It's its own weird thing. Yeah, you have to keep track of it even after it dies. So it was just better, like, if it's on the maybe that was just that was the mistake. For as long as it's on the battlefield, we're keeping track of day and night. But if it dies, then you don't. It's probably how it should have been worded. Turg! Luris! Lurrus of the Dream Den. In what format are we asking this card to be banned? Oh, it's legal in Historic and Brawl. That's funny. So it actually has like it's like some life left in it. Lifelink. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a permanent spell with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard. This card is the most broken if there are very, very cheap cards that you can abuse, but if you can't, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm not gonna say like the downside is that big of a downside, because who cares about like expensive permanents? You can very easily live off of cheap ones. But you know, in a world where we're not living with Mishra's Bauble, Lurrus is not going to be completely free, because otherwise Lurrus does have to wait until you get to like 4-ish to 5-ish mana to play Lurrus at the same time as playing another creature, and your opponent's going to know this Lurrus is up big time. Not to mention, like, the card is worthless if you're playing with like Rest in Peace and other graveyard hate. The only thing I hate personally about Lurrus, it was just a free card. That's actually the sole value. It's like 6 mana for a 3/2 with lifelink, and maybe it gets another card. But there's a lot of interaction for Lurrus otherwise. Lurrus is a great commander. Really? I never heard of that, but sounds good. Building Lurrus with 2+ mana cards would be so funnily misbuilt. I want to say I've seen it happen where Lurrus was not the companion. It was actually in the 75, and they were playing with like 3 Lurruses because they just thought it was better there. Next we got another super chat from Little MX Doom. Thanks so much, Little MX Doom. You're wonderful. Smokestack, I dare you. You know, we need to have every strategy in this game. If we're allowed to have Braid's Cabal Minion, like, is Braid's Cabal Minion doing anything to us in any format? No, it's not. I think the fear is stronger than the execution. And I think the same can be said about Smokestack, a 4-mana artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a soot counter on your Smokestack, and at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a permanent for each soot counter on Smokestack. If you want to blame anything, blame the fast mana that would ramp this thing in play. But under slower conditions, you should have more permanents to play or more removal for the Smokestack. Sacking things, look, taxing prison strategies, it's a thing. It's real. It's been a part of Magic since like, almost the beginning. Like, you know, ever since like land destruction was a thing, ever since Stone Rain existed, which was an alpha and beta. Attacking resources has been a part of Magic. It's not even that good anymore. These days, like, you play a creature and it comes with like 2 or 3 tokens. Like, the cards these days completely overwhelm Smokestack. I'm surprised everyone's even afraid of this card. Look, it's only a $4 card because no one can even make any use out of it. Lil MX Doom, did you see my fun fact in relation to Jensen and Lurrus? Fun fact, Jensen Carthalion Druid Exile is one of the best 5-color commanders in CEDH because it's 5 colors and allows you to have Lurrus as a companion. That is weird. Just weird. Yeah, if it's on the battlefield, it's fair game. Balance is older than Stone Rain. No, they both came out at the same time. Look, Stone Rain is stone old. Okay. I'm pretty sure it came from Alpha and Beta. Look, here's an Alpha Stone Rain for you. People will pay $43 for that Alpha Stone Rain. Fan Factor with Phage the Untouchable. Phage the Untouchable is a card where it enters the battlefield. If you didn't cast it from your hand, you lose the game. And if it deals combat damage to a creature, it gets destroyed, can't be regenerated. And if it deals damage to a player, that player completely loses the game. We need cards like Phage. We need more cards like Phage where we want to completely build around it and probably backfire doing so. Has anyone ever lost to Phage the Untouchable? Did anyone get the deadly touch of Phage? What is Phage, like Medusa to some extent? Gonna turn you into stone? Super harmless. Well, okay, we're not gonna say Phage is super harmless. Just very hard to get online because you can't cheat this damn thing out. Mercenaries died to Phage. That was when Phage came out in Legions. What, you die in the pre-release? Someone just cast this thing. She doesn't have any evasion. She doesn't have trample. You can't cheat her out. It's worse than like if you're gonna spend 7 mana on something, I'd rather spend on Platinum Angel. Fan Factor says I lost to it when opponent forced me to clone it or get a token of it. Wow, how did the game even get that far? That's, you know what, that's pretty smart though. Putting a token into play of Phage, the untouchable. Didn't even need to attack. Yeah, I see her ensnaring bridge over there. And you might think that that's going to protect you from my Phage attacking, but little did you know, I didn't even need to attack, as I clone my Phage, the Untouchable, giving you a copy of her. I cast Branded Expulsion and summon Phage to your side of the field. Yeah. I cast Branded Expulsion and summon the Phage to your side of the field. Your move, opponent. And if you don't make a move fast, this Phage will be your undoing. Okay, next. I've never lost to the combat damage effect. I lost to someone cheating her to on my side of the board. Good for them. That's what Magic is all about. I've won multiple 4-player pods with my Phage deck. Okay, when Phage becomes a super powerful tier 1 CDH card, we can talk. We got Kaku of Wei. I don't think any card should be banned. People should be informed on the cards and just run more removal. If you build a deck that doesn't stop other people from winning, you built a bad deck. I can resonate with that so much. I'm right now playing in a commander group that's just basically solitaire decks. Like, they're all trying to do their own one thing without even having any consideration of their opponents, and whoever wins wins. And before I joined their pod, they thought the only way they could beat the players with fast, powerful decks is to play an equally or faster powerful deck. And then when I joined their pod and I started countering things and stifling things and bouncing things, they realized, oh, wow, these all-in strategies are actually super vulnerable. Like, you know, if you spend like 4 cards to ramp out an 8-mana commander and it gets subtletied, well, that's the end of that deck. Wow, interaction. Never thought of it before, even though like half of Magic cards are interactive cards. Amazing. I've never heard of interaction before. Okay, next. They sound like new. They've actually been playing for decades. Yeah, well, one of the guys there, actually multiple. They've all been playing for decades. They're like, they've been playing longer than me, strangely enough. Bryce says, "How about Divine Intervention?" Is it Divine Intervention? Nope. Is it DI? Divine? Divine Intervention. There we go. 8-mana enchantment. Divine Intervention enters the battlefield with 2 intervention counters on it. And at the beginning of your upkeep, remove an intervention counter from Divine Intervention. And if there are no intervention counters on it, the game is a draw. Look, there's 3 ways a game can end. Someone can win. Someone can lose. But you can also draw, and this card represents the draw mechanic. I'm surprised we don't have more cards that draw. Would that be, is that like unexplored design space? Cards that draw the game? I think that's interesting. Cards that, like, you don't lose, but you don't win. And in a tournament, that matters a lot. Because if you don't win and you don't lose, it's worth 1 point, which sometimes feels like you lost. Yeah, cards that might threaten a draw might be completely unexplored design space. Yes, but people hate it. Well, what's the difference between ending the game in a draw and like just losing on the spot to a combo deck, you know? You could lose or you could draw. You could lose or you could draw. Draw is not that bad. It's a tie. Everybody wins, okay? We all win around here. Cards that don't make you win don't feel good. Look, you need insurance, people. We're all older now. You all need some insurance. You need that car insurance. You don't get that car insurance because you want to use it, all right? Nobody feels good about using their car insurance. But just in case, you need it. What if you keep drawing in a tournament? Well, you're not going to have many points, and it's going to be as good as losing. Kaku, you get more points if you draw the game versus losing. I rather draw the game because I'm petty. There we go. We have one vote for drawing the game. Stormy Cat, because people will hate it. Wizards of the Coast should make it evergreen. Mercenary says Danny Chan and LSV ended their match in a draw from SCG San Jose round 2. Happens, yeah. Olga with Mishra's Workshop. I'm gonna get you in a second. Prince of Winners didn't get a card. Mr. Negative. Olga, I'm gonna get you. We're gonna have Mishra's Workshop is gonna be next. Okay, Mr. Negative. I'll tell you what, we could ban this card just for this bizarre art. This is a 7-mana 5/5 human villain. Vigilance, lifelink. It's got Dark Force Inversion. When Mr. Negative enters, you may exchange life totals with target opponent. If you lost life this way, draw that many cards. So it's an interesting type of card where if you want to draw some cards, exchange your life with, give your opponent life. And then take their crappy life and cash in on the damn thing. It's strategic in that way. The other way you could just use it is just stealing somebody's life total. If someone knows, I think this is really good to have. I think this card is better when people know you have it in your deck, because now it becomes like more of a metagame thing. Like I can't have, nobody can get their life total too high because then they become a target for Mr. Negative. Also, if you're going to attack the Mr. Negative player, make sure that when you attack them, you kill them dead instead of leaving them at a low life total to maximize their value that they can get from Mr. Negative. So I think it's a very cool card to play around if you know it's coming. Benjamin Berkey says, I play Vintage, so I can't think of anything that I would want banned. Maybe, what's it called? That new card? Was it the spaceship thing? The equipment? Or sorry, is that, no, it's a vehicle or something. I can't remember the damn card now. Okay, next up we got Olga. Olga wants Mishra's Workshop banned. It's a land. Tap, add 3 mana to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells. Have you ever tried to cast a creature off this thing? You can't do it. I mean, unless it's an artifact creature. I thought Mishra's Workshop was completely broken until I started drafting it consistently in Cube, and it was consistently the worst. It was the absolute worst card. It was so bad. My deck was so much better without it in my deck. And I was playing an artifact deck. The problem is it's only going to be useful. It's going to make your artifacts cheaper, but it makes like just regular cards infinitely more clunky. And you better have those artifacts. And it's not going to count colorless cards. So you're like, it's going to warp your deck for Mishra's Workshop. But then if you don't have Mishra's Workshop in your hand, then all those cards are super clunky. So you're not too heavy on artifacts. You're going to split it with creatures. But then when you have like a Mishra's Workshop hand, those other cards are worse. In limited, it sucks unless you build it. It has to be pure. It has to be all artifacts. Like it has to be everything artifacts. We did the One Ring and Soul Ring, Christopher B. You're way too late for those cards. Oh yeah, the Fantastic card. That's what I was thinking of. Maybe that one might want to get banned in Legacy. Maybe. Who knows? Lil MX Doom. Story. I played Imi Statue in a mono green deck with 0 other artifacts. One person in my group really wants it game changer now. What the hell is that thing? Imi Statue. Okay, so this can be a virtual want it banned card. What? Players can't untap more than 1 artifact during their untap steps. I played it in a mono green deck with 0 other artifacts, and one person might. Okay, I see. So it didn't affect you, but it affected them in a huge way. It's the only artifact here. Well, you could have played with more than this, right? Because you only need 1 artifact to untap, and this one is not going to tap in the first place. So who needs it? I didn't even know this is a stacks card. I'm learning about this card for the first time. It's a 36-cent stacks. It's been printed once, and it's 36 cents. It's worthless. Or I shouldn't say worthless, but I mean, how many artifacts can you have in the battlefield? Like, they banned some of them already. You know, we don't even have Mana Crypt anymore. Okay, we got Suddenly Boop. Hot take, but maybe Moss-born Hydra. Not too bad, just annoying. 3 mana for a 0/0 Trampler, but enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, double the number of +1/+1 counters on this creature. Isn't there a card out there like creatures can't get counters? Yeah, but there's not too many of those cards. You know, this is just just big chunky green creature. Green Deco Burr. It's literally a creature that says, I'm gonna get big and smash you hard. I'm winding up a punch. I'm gonna blast you as far as I can. I think it's because it's 3 mana. 3 mana, that's a lot of mana. I don't know how. Honestly, I don't even think it's that big of a deal. If you're not gonna play it on turn 2 with ramp, then you have to wait till turn 3. You play the card, you play your land, you crack your fetch land. Look, it doesn't kill you the moment that it touches you like Flage, so Mossborn Hydra is A-okay. It dies to Doomblade. Dies to Fatal Push, too. Christopher B doesn't have a card yet. Spectacular Spider-Man. And all Universes Beyond cards, where we have the blue-white equivalent. 2 mana, 3/2 with Flash. For 1 mana, Spectacular Spider-Man gains flying until end of turn. That's a weird ability. And for 1 mana, sacrifice Spectacular Spider-Man. Creatures you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Interesting. I don't get it. Hold on, why is this so expensive? Or is it just the arts? Okay, I think it's just the arts. Because this one's cheap. Or cheap-ish. Or this one's really cheap. It's like $5, $6. So if you want the Venom one, that's super expensive. If you want... The hell is this? Powder Toast Man? No, it's a Fantastic Four character. It looks like Powder Toast Man to me. Oh, I see. So they basically made all these other Spider-Man variants super expensive. But if you want the OG, it's like $6. This is no different from... this is, in my opinion, a crappier version... Then, what is that spirit called? There's a 2 mana spirit with Flash, and you sacrifice it, and creatures gain indestructible. Selfless Spirit. All right. I think it's like just a bad version of Selfless Spirit. Now, I'll admit, this card doesn't give hexproof. This one does. But this one costs a lot more mana. You have to spend an extra 1 mana on this damn thing. Bagman is a goat? I don't even know who Bagman is. Kaku says, Powder Toast Man mentioned. Yes, I know who Powder Toast Man is. I watched a little bit of Ren and Stimpy when I was a kid. Not a hardcore fan, but whatever. Watch some Ren and Stimpy. Okay, next up, we've got... Little MX Doom is basically half sponsoring the show today. Oh, I also want Grave Pact on the Game Changer list. Let's look at Grave Pact. Grave Pact. 4 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature you control dies, each other player sacrifices a creature. Look, an eye for an eye around here. Now, this is going to be worse for everybody else because you probably have a sack outlet. Or whoever's playing this card has a sack outlet. But I don't want to say, like, hey, use removal every time because it's not actually going to work this time. So once Grave Pact enters the battlefield, if you try to disenchant this, well, they probably have a response. So you're going to need to play something in the first place that prevents you from sacking creatures, and that's super narrow. That's outrageously narrow. How can I defend this card? Whenever a creature you control dies, each other player sacrifices a creature. It's just it's a crappy board wipe, I guess. You know what? I mean, like, what can end up happening is does it feel worse to lose to Grave Pact or Damnation? They're both the same amount of mana. It's both 4 mana. You can either let everything be wiped or let everything be wiped equal to the number of things or the opponent can wipe from the board. Christopher B is like, agreed. I hate people hate the Triomes? What's wrong with the Triomes? Okay, I'm going to say Grave Pact is just a crappier version of damnation. And then if the board is wiped, then you can deal with the Grave Pact and then deal with just progress your board. Hexanort with Forest. Mono green can be creative with their mana base. Oh, you want to so you want to ban the you want to ban the basic forest to force the mono green decks to adopt a second color. Maybe even adopt the triomes. Well, guess what? We need to have basic forest. In fact, we should have more strategies that aren't getting shut down by Harbinger of the Seas, by Blood Moon, and so on. There should be a benefit for going mono color in Magic. Right now, we are all being hard punished for it. Like, the advantage is we are not hit nearly badly by Wasteland or Field of Ruin or Field of Devastation. There should be advantages to going a monocolor, so I'm going to defend the basic forest and all basic lands out there. I speak for all basic lands. And Wizards should move in that direction. Like, if you look at CEDH, the less colors you play, the worse off you are. The more colors you play, the more busted you are. The more colors you play, you just have access to, like, more powerful cards that you can jam in your deck. No, they can stay mono green, but they have to run different lands. Well, yeah, but then they're vulnerable to, like, Blood Moon and so on. We got Nola with, I think Memnarch should be banned. You're not a fan of Memnarch, are you? This guy steals things. 7 mana, 4/5 wizard. For 3 mana, target permanent becomes an artifact in addition to its other types. And for 4 mana, gain control of target artifact. Your opponent needs, like, what, 11 mana in order to even activate this in the first place? And the only thing they can do is probably steal things that are already artifacts. If this thing untaps and activates for 7 mana, they steal 1 thing a turn, but that's their entire turn. Also dies to Doomblade. Also dies to Doomblade. I'm actually Memnarch's biggest fan. You love stealing people's cards. Christopher B has this long shopping list of Wooded Foothills, Windswept Heath, Flooded Strand. I got your card already. Pretty sure I got one of your cards already. Who has no card yet? Aaron, the Eye of Doom. What is Eye of Doom? It's a 4-mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, each player chooses a non-land permanent and puts a Doom counter on it. For 2 mana, tap, sacrifice Eye of Doom. Destroy each permanent with a Doom counter on it. Choose a non-land permanent. Oh, that is neat. So, as in Commander, whenever each player chooses a non-land permanent, it's not a permanent they control. They, like, all 3 people can gang up on 1 player if they wanted to. And then when we sack it, destroy each permanent with the Doom counter on it. Are you trying to tell me, Aaron, that everyone's ganging up on you with Eye of Doom? It's the only way I can explain this. You know, I was just thinking, this show actually would have been better if you guys suggest crappy cards and then I support you instead of telling you why you're wrong. I should tell you why you're right. Like, yeah, of course, Eye of Doom is broken. This thing, it's not fair, gang. 3 against 1. Get rid of this thing. Aaron's like, yes. Who the hell is playing this thing? What colors are you in that you can't, like, do anything about an Eye of Doom? Like, I don't get it. This is like a really clunky... I guess it's not really like engineered explosives or powder keg because it's just going all in on you for the most part. What can I defend this with? Weak to enchantment removal, weak to ETB removal, weak to pithing needle effects. Yeah, Eye of Doom is very legal. It's not strong at all. Where'd everyone come from? Everyone's coming late now. Gabrielle with Planar Nexus. Well, we don't need to ban this one, Gabrielle, because we already banned Candelabra of Thanos. I assume you're a Candelabra owner. They banned my Candelabra in Legacy. I don't own one. I wanted to own one. You know, I wanted to own, I think it was like priced at like $300. And then there was like this big spike and I was like, okay, F it, I'm never gonna get this thing. I don't care. I had nowhere to play it anyway. I just wanted to own it for the sake of owning it. Aaron, I got you, Aaron. Benjamin, the Isle of Wak Wak. Is it Wake Wake? I think it's Walk Walk, right? Let me look up Walk Walk. I can't find it. Is it named something else? Yeah, Candelabra of Thanos? No, Thanos. I can't find Walk Walk. It's like, I know you're I have some idea of what you're talking about. Can I look up Isle of? Isle of. Maybe it's not Isle of. It's not Isle of. It's Isle of something. Maybe of Walk Walk? Island of Walk Walk. Lessian knows. Or Whack Whack. Land. Tap the power of target creature with flying becomes 0 until end of turn. Great interactive card. Look, we need to be able to interact with flying creatures for nothing. And I actually am a huge fan of these old lands that do not, like, they don't tap for mana, but they're like, it's sort of like an enchantment on a land. But the cool thing is that they're vulnerable in a different way to artifacts and enchantments, because you can blow them up with Stone Rains and Wasteland and Strip Mine and what's it called? And Field of Ruin, Field of Devastation, Ghost Quarter. I like these types of cards. I really wish they brought this design space back. I don't think every land should tap for mana. It's not even clear to me that Library of Alexandria should tap for mana. It's basically a building. Honestly, if it's a structure itself, it should not tap for mana. It should be worthless. Like the actual land, the soil beneath your feet taps for mana. Lessian says they should release new lands that doesn't tap for mana, but have other effects. It would also encourage releasing more land destruction, which is good. No, that's probably bad. I mean, I think it's, you know, what's good actually is they've got a lot of this land destruction. It's like, destroy this land. Your opponent can search for a basic land to replace it. I think that's good. Bizarre Baghdad didn't tap for mana at all. And that's how it should have been. There should be more stuff like that. Are we missing anybody? Anyone not got a card? Gabriel says they have to be really good to make up for the lack of mana despite being free. Well, they can't make it too good, because then they get to like I guess Bizarre of Baghdad level, which I think at the time wasn't very good anyhow. Okay, you don't have a card? Well, you didn't mention a card. Okay, how about, I guess I'll just take a Toilet Duck over here. Nak Tamun. Nak Tamun. Lore Spinner. This is basically if Emeritus of Ideation snorted crack or something. Also, fun thing to do, combo this with Sire of Insanity to empty your hand and pre-prepare it. What the hell? Is that Ideation card even a problem? 3 mana for a 3/3 Jackal Wizard. At the beginning of your upkeep, if a player has 1 or fewer cards in hand, this creature becomes prepared. Each player discards their hand, then draws 7 cards. Wow! That's a lot of cards. This is great for everybody. What's wrong with this? Look, Hull Breacher is not Hull Breacher is not banned or anything. I think this is a way to get everyone back in the game. You're gonna help yourself and you're gonna help your opponents. Okay, that's it for today. I hope everyone had fun. We'll probably do this again, actually. We'll probably do this, but we'll do it the opposite way. You tell me weird cards you want banned, and I'm going to support you. 100% support. Okay, as usual, we do these shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And thank you so much, my coffee crew, for being here today. I really appreciate it. We got Nola says, ban the lady with the hard name to spell and say, oh, Asmarano Mardigadasno Kuldakar. Well, the good news is that card is almost impossible to get in play in the first place. So you don't even have to name her. Unless you're playing Pithing Needle on her, then that might be a problem. Thanks to everyone who showed up today. People like Lil MX Doom. Yeah, I missed one of your super chats. Well, you have to remind me next time, because I thought I got all your super chats, or somehow it bugged and I didn't show up. Thanks everyone like Kano, Mercenary, Steve Cooper, Christopher B, Suddenly Boop, Draconic Dustin, Newbie, Benjamin Berkey, Toilet Duck, Lil MX Doom, big, huge supporter of Lil MX Doom here. Remind me of your super chat that got missed. Oh, I'll take a look at my history and see if it actually got missed or if it or what the problem was. We have Draconic, Noah, and many more. Is it really that big of a deal? Hold on. What am I missing here? It might not be too hard. Okay, Lil MX Doom, we might get it right before the show ends. Maybe it's very, very... Oh! Somehow this didn't show up. Last card, Derevi. Okay, we're going to be around for a few more seconds. Derevi. You deserve a superset chat sound effect for this. God's most annoying stacks card that you can never get rid of permanently. Well, that's why... Whoa, you may not be able to get rid of the card permanently. But remember, the Amphibian Downpour. Little MX Doom. Derevi, Imperial Tactician, cannot hide from Amphibian Downpour. Also can't hide from, was it Encase in the Moon? Is that what it is? Encase in the Moon? Something in the moon. We're going to the moon. So, Imprisoned in the Moon. Imprisoned in the Moon. Enchant creature, land, or planeswalker. And the permanent's colorless! It turns into a colorless land with tap, add colorless, and lose all other card types and abilities. Don't build a deck without Imprisoned in the Moon. I guess you might need blue, though, for all this. You don't have any blue, you're screwed. All right, with that, thank you very much, everyone, for showing up. Keep brewing them coffees. And we're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you at the next cup.